Well, we got like 5 more PS1 games to go, so let's do it. First up, we got Wayman Brain Games for the PS1. This is a game that I got for like a graduation present back in kindergarten, I think. My mom got it for me for like $1 at Toys R Us because, long story short, Toys R Us was having like a liquidation sale for PS1 games, and a lot of like bargain bin PS1 games were being sold off for like $1 a piece. And yeah, Rayman Brain Games was one of those bargain bin $1 PS1 games. So is this any good? It's Rayman, but with math and with literacy, I guess, because you get to learn how to uh, like phonics, I guess, recognition of classification of different words and organization skills. So yeah, it's an educational Rayman game, and it's kind of sucky because for an educational game, the platforming is very clunky, very stiff. So even though the whole basis of the game is to teach you stuff, you can still die a lot from the platforming because the platforming in this game is very difficult. So you can be like, oh, I got this math problem correct, but the problem is when I jump, I land on a spike and I die. Like, I got the math problem correct. I know the math problem. I know how to solve it. But the platforming, oh, I just fall on a spike and I die, or I fall on an enemy and I freaking die. So it's a very hard learning game. Not because the problems are hard, but because of the freaking platforming is difficult. Like, imagine, making Dark Souls, like a Dark Souls fighting game, but for like fifth graders, and you got like fifth grade math problems, fifth grade reading problems, stuff like that. And yeah, you try to teach kids how to do this learning thing with math and reading. But no, you still have like very very stiff combat, very hard to maneuver boss battles and stuff like that. So it's still the basis is fun, the gameplay is fun, but now you made it too hard that people can't even solve the problem without getting the answer wrong, because even though the answer is correct, they can still get it wrong because they die. It's complicated. Okay, so this game, it's like a 5 out of 10. It's not inherently a bad game, but like, why make a math learning game hard? Because the problem is the math questions. The math questions are supposed to be like a challenge, supposed to be like a difficult thing where you gotta learn to do the math problems. That should be the problem. That should be like the thing that's hard and challenging about the game. But no, the gameplay itself, this platforming makes it very hard. So who is this game made for? Like, you have to be like an adult in order to play the game. But the math questions are like for little preschools and stuff like that. So like, who is this game made for? Like, a preschool won't. Someone from preschool won't be able to beat this game because the platform is so hard. So yeah, it's a 5 out of 10. It's a weird game. Kids won't be able to beat it, but adults wouldn't want to play this game. So who's this made for? I don't know. 5 out of 10. It's not bad, but why does this exist? Why do you exist, Wayman? Okay, I'm gonna move on. That's it for Wayman Brain Games. And here's freaking Jeremy McGrath Supercross 1998 for the PS1. This is I think it's a bike racing game with bike tricks and stuff. So it's like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but with bicycles and racing mechanics and stuff like that. Well, not bicycles, but motorcycles, like dirt bikes. That's it. Dirt bikes. That's it. That's what it's called. It's not a motorcycle, but it's not a bike. It's a dirt bike for like off the road traveling and stuff like that. Are there any like ATVs in this game? I think there might be ATVs in this game too. But anyway, is this game any good? Yeah, it's very fun. I give it like a 7 out of 10. It's a very fun racing game slash stunt coordination game. And I got this game used for my brother. My brother gave this game to me for Christmas back in like 2015 with a whole bunch of other PS1 games. So yeah, decent game, 7 out of 10. Do recommend. Next we got freaking Madden 1999 for the PS1. This game, not as good as Madden 1998, but slightly better than Madden 2000. But not as good as Madden 2001 from September of 2001. That one's an instant classic. Highly recommend that one. But this one is okay. It's okay. I'll have to give it an 11 out of 10. To recommend. I got this game used for my brother for Christmas of 2015. He gave me a whole box of PS1 games, which also included this one. And yeah, Madden 1999. It's Madden. Do you want me to tell you like it's a masterpiece? It's okay. It's Madden. You only need one Madden game for the PS1. If you had to get one, I guess that one's okay. Next we got Buzz Lightyear Stalking for the PS1. This is based off the TV show that also got a direct-to-VHS movie. And I own the movie, and I also own a few action figures from the TV show. And it's a sequel to Sonic All. So long story short, Sonic All was made by, I think, Travel's Tales. Yeah, Travel's Tales right here. And that game sucked. Some people like it as like a cult classic racing game. I don't. I know a few people who do like the game, though. Freaking Jam Master and Yash, you like that game. But anyway, yeah, Buzz Lightyear Stalking this game it's not good. It's basically a Sonic All clone or Sonic All sequel. It's Sonic All, but with guns. So you as Buzz Lightyear have to move from point A to point B while racing the final boss to the finish line. And once you get to the finish line, you fight the final boss. But along the way, there's like weapon pickups, coins you can collect. You can save, I think, little Martian men. You know, those little green guys with the 3 eyes. You can save those guys, and you do a bunch of other stuff. But the main point is you gotta collect weapons along the way while getting to the final boss, because you can use those weapons to fight the final boss once you get to the final boss. But also along the way, there's enemies in the way. There's also obstacles you gotta jump over and attack. So yeah, it's a very complicated racing game. It's a racing game where you get to the final zone and then you fight the final boss. Imagine like Mario Kart, but it's on foot. And once you beat the race, you have to fight Bounce or something like that. That's this game. That's Buzz Lightyear Stalking in a nutshell. But is this game any good? This game is complicated. Okay, so it has more content than Sonic All. So in a way, it's a better game than Sonic All. You have more levels in this game. You got more weapons, more ways of traveling, because you can also use like a hoverboard to get from point A to point B. So yeah, in a way, this is better than Sonic All. There's more content. There's more bang for your buck for this game. But is it actually a good game? Hard to say. I give it like a 5 out of 10. It's close to a 6 and is to like a 4, but it's not the best. And I got this game for like $5 at flea market back in like I think 2017, I think. So yeah, it's okay. I don't recommend this game unless you're a big fan of the show, but yeah, it's okay. It's a real novelty to have because it's like, you know, it's like a sequel to Sonic All. It's made by the same people who made Sonic All, and it feels like Sonic All. They might have even used like the same engine as Sonic All to make that game. I guarantee they probably did. Next up in the last physical PS1 game I own is Crash Bash for the PS1. This is a Mario Party clone, but with Crash Bandicoot, and is it any good? No. I know some people love Crash Bash, I don't. It has a bunch of very generic minigames. Like, you have to make a path of like green tiles, and you gotta make sure that no one else gets your tiles, and you have to make sure that there's like a tennis mini game where you gotta hit like a little ball into the other person's goal, and there's also a little game where you gotta shoot tanks at your enemy, and it's okay. There's like maybe like 3 good mini games in this whole collection of like I think 16 mini games, like 18 mini games. No, it's actually 30. I think 30 different mini games. Yeah, there's a few good mini games, but not all of them are good. Most of them, dare I say, are actually kind of bad. But yeah, it's not better than Mario Party. It's okay. Give it like a 5 out of 10. It's not something you should go out of your way to get. It's okay. It's an okay game. It wasn't made by Naughty Dog, by the way. They used like asset flips from the Naughty Dog PS1 games. Like they took the Crash Bandicoot model, they took the Coco model, all that stuff from those PS1 Crash Bandicoot games. But it wasn't made by Naughty Dog. This was made by Eurocom, I think. Yeah. I paid $5 for this game used at a flea market, and yeah, it's okay. 5 out of 10. I do not recommend, but it's okay if you can get it for cheap. Not too bad. And yeah, that's all my physical PS1 games, but I do own a few digital PSN PS1 games. So long story short, you can buy, PS1 games from the PSN network on the PlayStation 3, PS Vita, PSP, etc. And I did that for a handful of games. I bought, what was it? So one of them I bought was Crash Bandicoot 1 for the PS1 on the PSN network, specifically for my PSP. And a long story short for that one, I bought it at GameStop on the website with a GameStop gift card because I had a few gift card dollars left. I think I got like $6 left, and I saw I can buy Crash Bandicoot 1 for the PS1 on the website for the PSP. So I decided to do that, and yeah, I got like a digital code for it, and I went to my mom and said like, "Hey, Mom, can you help me? I get my Crash Bandicoot PS1 game. I want to play it." And she was like, "We don't have Wi-Fi, son. We have to go to the library." So we went to the library, and I downloaded that game from the library with my PSP hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and it was complicated. It took like 2 hours for me to do that because the Wi-Fi sucked at the library. But I managed to do it, and I got that game to one of my PSP, and it was great. I love Crash Bandicoot 1 for the PS1. I know a lot of people hate that game because it's very, very clunky, very, very stiff. Not as good as Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3. It's very, very tedious, very hard compared to those other games because this game doesn't have a double jump. This game doesn't have a slide move. You just run and jump and spin, and that's it. That's all you do. But I think it's fun. I think it's a good, challenging game. Not too hard, in my opinion. It's kind of easy. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's better than Crash 3, but it's a decent, okay Crash Bandicoot game. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. I think I gave Crash 3 a 9 out of 10. Crash 1 gets a 7 out of 10. Very fun. I love the boss battles. I think it has a better story compared to, Crash 2 and Crash 3, but I know it's like a simple, save the princess kind of story, but I like it. It's a novelty. But yeah, Crash 1 for the PS1, good game. Do recommend it. And you probably already played that game before with the Crash N. Sane trilogy, which is a remake of the Crash 1, Crash 2, Crash 3 games, but still it's worth buying. And yeah, I bought that PS1 Crash Bandicoot game from the PSN network back in like 2014. Yeah, I think 2014. So yeah, I didn't have Wi-Fi back in 2014. I don't think so. And what other PS1 games I bought? I bought Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko for the PS1 on my PS Vita from the PSN network. And yeah, that game is pretty okay, pretty decent. It's very clunky. Not a very fun Mario clone. Not like the best made Mario 64 clone, but it's okay. Give it like a 6 out of 10. It has its moments, but for the most part, it's very clunky. You have to get in the mood in order to play it, but it's not like a 5 out of 10. There is fun to be had. I enjoy a few levels, a few different missions I do like from that game, but overall, it's not like the best Mario. It's not like the best Mario 64 clone, but it's worth buying if you can get it. And I got the game back in like 2016, I like to say, and I got with the DLC for not the DLC. I bought it with I bought a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for the PS Vita digitally from the PSN network, and I had a few extra coins left, a few extra dollars left, and I decided to buy Gex Deep Cover Gecko for the PS1 on the PS Vita as well. And yeah, it was worth it. I do like both games. I do like Marvel. I do like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I do love Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko. Not a ton of love, but 6 out of 10, decent game. And the last PS1 game I got from the PSN network for my PS Vita was The Emperor's New Groove for the PS1, and I got that game digitally from the PS Vita back in I think 2017. And I got that game alongside, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale DLC for the PS Vita. I bought, Zeus, and I bought Isaac Clarke for that game. And the DLC was worth it. I do like PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, and I do like Emperor's New Groove for the PS1. And that game is like a 7 out of 10. It's like a Spyro the Dragon clone, and it's very decent. It plays like Spyro the Dragon, both Cusco and all those Emperor's New Groove carols. It's fun. I do recommend it. 7 out of 10, and that's my entire PS1 collection. Hope you enjoyed the video, and next time I do Dreamcast, Xbox, Wii, DS, what else I got? GameCube, Switch, PS Vita, PSP, all that stuff in the future. But for now, I'm done with the video. Hope you enjoyed this little PS1 collection.